just got a new starter in, so I'm going to try to put the starter in and make sure there's no fuel leaks or anything before we try to start it up. So maybe we'll have this thing running today, hopefully. I'm going to put the bushing on for the shift linkage first, just so I can get my shifter all together so I know if it's in neutral or not. And then gonna hook up some grounds and stuff just so then we can ground the motor to the chassis. And we'll see. Alright, well I just got a starter off eBay, so let's put that in real quick. It's gonna be too hard to record right there, but I just grabbed a bolt from my parts car because I had no bolt for it. So hopefully this thing works. I gotta hook up some ground straps also, but we'll see. Hook up the battery. Yeah. It looks cool with the taillights on. This one taillight's messed up, I think. But I think I just got a spare for this side. I think it's just like delaminating or something.
No, it's dirt in there or something.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, I'm gonna try it. No brakes, no clutch.
The little switch to your brake pedal is right like that.
Yeah. Ooh. Well, it's beeping. Well, the needle's broken for the gas gauge, but it says almost full. Nope, nothing.
Nothing at all, huh?
Nope.
Huh. Do it? Hold on. Do that? What the hell? There's something over here making noise.
Huh.
Do it? Relay.
Might have tapped it when we were messing with this wire or something.
Grab me pliers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird. Oh yeah, it's just loose. Well, I should probably turn off the key.
Yeah, turn the key off.
You just start getting shocked. Ooh.
Alright, do it now.
You ready?
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Nope.
Do it.
Well, maybe the terminals aren't on all the way. That's probably it, actually. Nope.
Do it. This relay, this has got to be the relay for it.
Yeah.
Okay, go and take the power.
Ooh. So we gotta switch the relay or something real quick. Round two. So I'll do the same thing. Nope.
Alright, I'm gonna turn it. And you, do that.
Relay with the one from the other car. So let's see. Ready?
Yep. No, same thing.
Huh. Might just need another ground somewhere.
Let's see why or how.
I don't know. Alright, well, we added a ground from the body to the transmission. That should be a good ground. We have the ground from the valve cover to the radiator for support. And we have the main ground from the thermostat housing to the harness. So, and where the fuel pump's working, because it's building fuel pressure. It's at 40.5 right now. So we got to see. It's not even clicking the starter or anything, so I think we're just going to jump the starter. So we took that starter out and bench tested it by just hooking up a grounding, or we used a set of jumper cables onto the starter with a battery and put the negative onto the case of the starter and then the positive onto the solenoid, and it just does not work. I brought it down to AutoZone to get tested, and the starter spins, which is weird because it wouldn't spin for us, but it doesn't engage outwards. So I just sent that starter back for a refund and ordered a new starter. That comes in the morning. But now that I'm kind of done with a majority of the stuff in the engine bay, I can put the radiator in. I didn't want to put it in before just in case it gets scratched up or anything. So I'm going to put the radiator in, run the coolant hoses, and start figuring out some of these hoses down here for the thermostat housing. I think one of these goes up to intake manifold. I think this one probably goes right here. I don't know, something like that. And then I have a idle air control valve from a, let's see, I think it was from a CRV, and so that should work. Let's see what else. Oh, also the T-bracket came in that I ordered, so I think I'll put this in tomorrow. But I have to hook up the shift linkage still, because the little casing to stop the shifter from going up too high isn't. I'll have to show you on video to explain it, but yeah, I'm gonna throw the idle air control valve on and start lining up some hoses. I got the idle air control valve on and tightened. This hose, it's hard to see, goes to the little water neck here, but there's still, I'm not running the oil cooler that goes right in between the oil filter and the block, so I'm not completely sure on a lot of these like coolant hoses and vacuum hoses, so I'm probably gonna have to cap some off. So I think this one down here I'm just gonna cap off for now because I'm not completely sure. And yeah, I think I might throw the radiator in real quick, and then that's probably it for tonight, honestly, because I don't know what else to really do. But if I get the radiator in and both the hoses in, then I should be good to start it tomorrow, because then I can fill it with coolant and everything. So yeah, I'm probably gonna, actually another thing is the charcoal canister. I'm not sure if this line would go here, but I'm pretty sure this little, oh no, because, I'm not sure, honestly. I know this little coolant neck goes here to the intake. So yeah, I'm just gonna mess around with these a little bit and get the radiator in. So I got the Skunk 2 Alpha half-size radiator. Pretty sure it's like brand new too. Awesome. That thing is sick. Yeah, pretty much brand new. That is sick. Let's throw it in real quick. Always make sure this drain plug's tight, so I just tighten that. Honestly, I have a half-size fan, I think, from a stock car with a shroud, I'm pretty sure, so I'm gonna try to find that real quick, see if I can throw that on. A little bolt up, so I gotta find some bolts and washers for this, but got a box of bolts somewhere, so let's bolt this up. New starters in. I'm going to put the T-bracket in first, though, just to make sure whenever the motor starts up, if it does, hopefully, that the whole motor's not just going to twist back. So let's throw that T-bracket in. I think it's too dark under there to really record, but it's relatively simple. Just hook up to that rear motor mount and up to the transmission. So the starter's in, the T-bracket's in and tight. We got the idle air control valve on and plugged in. I just don't have any of the hoses or anything on. So we're gonna throw the battery in and try to start it up. Let's see. Oh my god. Oh, that battery's dead. Well, let's plug that in real quick.
Give it a second to charge up.
Now,
must be leaking pressure somewhere here. It's pumping up and then going down.
Oh. It ran for a second.
Oh, turn off! The fuck was that?
I don't know. Something grounded on the body. Relays,
Yes.
I think this from the VTEC solenoid. I guess is not a ground, maybe? Alright, now that that situation's handled, let's try it again. Doesn't sound the best. Started right up, like no problem at all. It sounds terrible though. Well, that's awesome. I forgot where I last recorded. I've just been putting stuff together. We got the radiator in and the hoses in. I've been messing with vacuum lines because it was having an idle surge issue, which is usually the idle air control valve right here. But we are not sure yet. I think it was just vacuum lines, so we'll have to see. And I extended the wire for the MAP sensor because usually CRXs have the MAP sensor back on the firewall with vacuum lines, but I don't want 100 vacuum lines running under the intake manifold and all that. And my throttle body has this MAP sensor, sorry. So I just, well, I didn't extend the wires yet, but I unloomed them here, so it'll just barely reach. Got the O2 sensor wired up. I'll go over that later in the video just to help anyone with that. And yeah, so I'm throwing on this one more hose here because that ended up cracking, and then we're gonna try to bleed the system again. So I'll show you guys whenever it's running. Okay, it seems to be running the best right now. I still gotta change the map though, but it's a day or two later. I tested this fan on the radiator real quick, and it sounded like the bearing was just maybe had some dirt in it or something. So I greased that up and tried it, and it spins freely now. And there's a water pipe that runs from the thermostat housing on the passenger side to the water pump on the driver's side. Hold on, I think I have one extra that I can show you. Alright, so this was the one that was on the motor, goes from the thermostat housing to the water pump side. This one was a little bit too short, it seemed like, which is weird because it was on the car. And so we threw in another one that was longer and it started leaking. So I threw a second O-ring right there and put some water pump and thermostat gasket maker on both sides over top of the O-rings just to make sure it doesn't leak, because I've had several different leaks now with the coolant system, but it seems to be good. So we're gonna fire it up and bleed it, and hopefully it will have no more coolant leaks, because this has been annoying. And while I was figuring out all the coolant stuff, I ordered this clutch cable bracket that bolts on right here. So the adjustment nut will tighten onto here. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw that on real quick and adjust the clutch, make sure that's good, and hopefully it should work. This is the right bracket. So yeah, we're gonna throw the clutch in. I have, or not the clutch bracket, and then I have an axle nut, and I have to bleed the brakes, and then I think it can go on the ground. I got the clutch all the way adjusted. It feels good, like all the way through the pedal. So we're going to go ahead and bleed the brakes and then set it down on the ground. I just went ahead and double checked the suspension bolts again. I'm gonna pull off the front sway bar. I was just told that it's better for autocross without the front sway bar. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and then bleed the brakes. I got the front sway bar off and the brakes bled. And while we were bleeding the coolant last night, well, we're just running water for now, but it was almost up to temp. The gauge said it was almost up to temp, but this radiator hose, which connects to the thermostat housing right here, was around like 70 degrees, and this was like I think it was 170. So I think maybe the thermostat's not opening yet because it's a 160 degree thermostat. So for now, I just pulled out the thermostat and I'm just gonna run it without it. It'll be fine. There is still something with the idling, so I need to figure out the vacuum lines, like the correct routing for it. I think I have it pretty much good, but I do definitely have to change something. I think there's a vacuum leak somewhere. And yeah, so I'm gonna refill it with water, let it kind of like gravity bleed for now, and then I'll run it in a little bit and finish bleeding it. But we have autocross this weekend, and obviously the CRX isn't going to be ready. So I'm going to go ahead and change the fluid for the clutch master, and I'm going to change the brake fluid too, because the clutch itself feels good, but the pressure for it doesn't feel that good. And I'm pretty sure the master cylinder is new, or new-ish at least, and the fluid looks like clear, but it has I'll just show you the fluid real quick. Like the fluid right here, I don't know if I can catch it on camera. It's like nasty. So I'm gonna use a cheap turkey baster I got from the dollar store, pull most of that fluid out of the container and refill it. And I shouldn't have to re-bleed the clutch, so that'll be sweet. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera. It's just gonna be kind of hard to get the camera in there.